All right, the court is going to call 2023 CR 2280. State versus Michael Donovan Williams. Could I have parties announced for the record? State,
Andrew Harris, Edelman.
defense.
Robert Ferris.
And are you Mr. Williams? Are you the same Michael Donovan Williams who's placed on community supervision in 2023 CR 2280 for the offense of unlawfully carrying a weapon with a felony conviction on June 15, 2023 for a period of 8 years? Is that you? All right, state.
In Bear County, Texas, the defendant Michael Donovan Williams has been in there, failed to report to the supervision officer as corrected for the months of May and June 2024 in violation of condition number 4.
How do you plead to that? True or not true?
State waives the remaining violation allegations.
Any objections?
Okay.
Did you understand by pleading true to violation of condition number 4, the court could find it true, grant the motion, and sentence you up to 3 years in prison and up to, let me see if there's a fine. No fine. Could sentence you up to 3 years in the prison. Did you understand? Knowing that, do you still wish to proceed with your plea of true to violation of condition number 4? Court will find violation of condition number 4 true. Is there a proposed agreement?
I believe so, Your Honor, to revoke supervision and impose the underlying sentence.
All right. And has he done anything on probation?
Judge, Mr. Williams was a third court participant.
Mhm.
He did complete lifetime, well,
All right, do you want to raise your right hand for me, please? You solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God? All right, you can lower your hand, state your name for the record.
That arrangement.
All right, so Mr. Williams, why didn't you do well on this probation? All right, so what I can tell you is, and I believe the state and the defense are aware of this, because my understanding, you all were negotiating, and maybe it was going to be withdraw the motion and refer to DDRF, or either refer back to felony drug court. So let me explain something to you. If you have mental health issues, and it appears that you do, because there was, I don't know if it was who it was brought up by, but there was the issue of perhaps placing you in DDRF, then those issues are still going to exist. And prison, sometimes it rehabilitates people, sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes they'll give you the care that you need. If you're able to fake your way through the prison system and they don't think you need mental health treatment, then you're not going to get any mental health treatment at the prison. And when you are released, maybe you'll be worse off than you were before. Maybe you'll be better off than you were before. But it appears to the court, and I guess it appears to your defense counsel too, that you need drug treatment and mental health treatment. If you do not want to abide by that, I will follow your agreement, revoke you, and I will sentence you to the 3 years. But if you want the help, then I will give you the help. But it's going to be some type of inpatient treatment. And if you were referred back to felony drug court, if felony drug court agrees to accept you and reviews your case again, they may decide that the best placement for you is DDRF and may place you in DDRF. But if you want to be revoked, I will revoke you. But I don't think that would be in your best interest, and I don't think it would be in the public's best interest. So your choices are, I can follow your agreement, revoke you, sentence you to the 3 years, or I can continue you, but you're going to remain in custody until you're accepted in felony drug court or DDRF. All right, and this is what I want to let you know. One, you can't run from your problems. If you are currently homeless, at least there's a safety net. And I understand that drug court charges for drug testing, but if you don't have money for drug testing, they're not going to say, we're going to remove you from the program because you can't afford the drug testing. They're not going to say, we're going to remove you from the program because you don't have housing. Part of their job is to make sure that you're stable with a place to stay. And sometimes the place you have to stay, it's not the Hilton or whatever the best place is. It's just a place to stay with rules and regulations. Now, if I follow your agreement and send you to prison when you get out, you're still going to be homeless. But, okay, sure. Are you asking the court to follow this agreement for 3 years in the prison? Are you waiving your right to appeal? All right. So if you'll just put on the record then what offenses will be taken in consideration.
Possession of marijuana 4 ounces, 5 pounds, and a PG 1 less than a gram. Rising out at the same time, level so separate.
All right. Then court will follow your agreement. The court is going to find violation of condition number 4 true. Court will sentence you to 3 years in the prison, give you credit for any time served. The court will note that the state is taking into consideration a possession of marijuana and a possession of controlled substance, penalty group 1, less than 1 gram. And the court will request the therapeutic community. All right, we can go off the record. Good luck to you. When you're released, if you can't find a place to stay, or if you can't find somebody to help you maintain your sobriety, if I'm still here, you come back, I'll pick up the phone and call somebody. Megan,
Yes, Judge.
on this case, Jeremiah Simmons, it's an aggravated robbery. I know you all are currently in trial, but when you all get a chance, if you can discuss with Martin when it'll come back for a jury trial. So what I'll do, the cause number is 2024 008134.
Okay,
I'm gonna have this recalled for April 10th.
okay,
If you all will be able at that time to let me know when you think a good jury trial date is for you and the defense attorney.
thank you, Judge.
And he's going to see if his client wants to do a bench trial either too.
Okay, thank you.
All right, sir. On your case, we're going to recall it for April 10th. And what we're going to be recalling it for is for you all to agree on a jury trial date. We're currently in a trial at the moment, so of course we can't do 2 trials at the same time. So, and the people who will be trying this case are the people who are currently in trial. So on April 10th, we'll come in and see if you all both can agree on a suitable jury trial date. Do you have any questions about anything? Well, the thing about the examining trials, and I know your defense counsel will tell you, once you've been indicted, there is no more examining trial. Because an examining trial is really just for the judge to see if there's enough evidence to hold you over for trial. And once a grand jury has indicted you, they decided that there is enough evidence to hold you for trial. Is there anything else? All right, so what we'll do is we'll have you brought back over on April 10th. And on that day, the only thing that's going to be decided is when your next jury trial date is. So that'll be later in the week, later next week that you brought back. And the reason why I'm not bringing you back on Monday is because I anticipate they'll still be in trial and they won't be able to necessarily concentrate on your matter and give it the attention that it deserves, okay? All right, anything else? Counsel, anything else? And on the 10th, if you'll make sure that you have all the discovery, and I'll expect an acknowledgement of discovery as well. All right, thank you. You're welcome. Mason, Washington. Hello. You're on this side.
Okay.
How's everything going?
Good. How are you doing, Judge?
Oh, I cannot complain. Hello.
Hi.
Hi. So where are we on CPS records? Yes.
We have the CPS records in our custody. I just need to brief run upstairs to have our paralegal make a copy for defense on that, and then I'll probably provide it for this afternoon.
Okay. All right, and then last time there were some audio files.
Yes, Your Honor. There were no body cam videos. We've received, I believe we've received everything we need in evidence as far as that goes, Your Honor. I have conferred with Ms. Jones with a potential counter offer. She is going to discuss that with complainants and let me know. Your Honor, I intended to approach the court for an expert to resolve this case, but I would ask if we could have a maybe 2-week rate reset to see if we could come to an agreement, Your Honor, and if not, if I could approach the court on my expert to appoint, on my motion for funds for an expert, Your Honor. So all the discovery in the case in chief we have, but if the court were to grant, my motion to appoint an expert, he is asking for some things from the lab to look over, Judge. And so I would ask to approach on that at that time if negotiations fall through, Judge.
Well, I'll go ahead and sign the request for an expert. And then if it turns out you don't need the expert, then you won't need the expert. There are some things that she is requesting as far as discovery for her expert. So if you all can review that way, if her expert needs it.
And Your Honor, I do have this fee schedule. I'm not sure how much funds the court is willing to give upfront, Your Honor, if you just.
What are you requesting up front?
So he's requesting $27.50 for the case review, Judge. And then if this does have to go to trial, it would be an additional fee. I do have his CV and his fee schedule for the court to review.
Oh, I don't need this.
Okay, thank you.
There you go. All right, and then the other thing we have is, I had notation that there was something involving a runaway case.
Yes, Your Honor, upon further going into the discovery, Judge, we do have a report, and I think that's all that we need at this time as far as that case, Judge.
All right, then what I can do is I can recall you, 2 weeks deadline is the week of April 21st.
That
So,
works for the bench, Judge.
Y'all want to come back on April 24th?
Yes, Judge, that's.
All right, so it will be recalled back for April 24th. Is there anything else?
No, Your Honor.
Any questions from you, sir?
Just want another chance in life, that's all.
Okay, all right, thank you so much.
Thank you, Judge.
That's my approach.
All right, thank you. Felipe Reyes, if you can come down, please. Good morning.
Morning, how you doing today?
Oh, all right, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great.
They say we're supposed to have cold weather on Friday. I know they keep it cold at the jail.
They had like a storm.
Yes, and it's supposed to be more heavy rain. Yes, but I didn't want you sent back to the jail without at least coming into court. Your attorney is asking that your case be reset for Monday. So we're going to recall you for Monday. That's still going to be your plea deadline date. So on that date, you'll need to let the court know whether or not you've reached an agreement. If an agreement is not reached, your next court setting will be your jury trial date. Do you understand? Do you have any questions? All right, your attorney said he's going to come visit you, all right?
Okay.
All right,
Thank
thank
you.
you. Have a good one. Enrique Mendez. Hello. Hi, how are you doing?
I'm doing good today.
All right, so I received notice saying that you needed to travel in order for a medical.
Yes, I need to have two fruits from molars removal because my cups, they broke down.
All right.
I've been in pain because, every time I get something sweet or hot.
Oh, no, I understand about tooth pain. It has to be done. Who's the prosecutor on this? It's Enrique Mendez.
What's the charge, Judge?
It is indecent exposure. So he wants to travel to have medical work done on his tooth.
Yes.
He will go and come back the same day. Do you have any objections?
We do, just given the facts of the case and given where the exposures took place, there were multiple at places of business, and so the state would object based on that. However, we understand that the court may grant given the reason for it.
All right, here's my thing. With regards to tooth issues, it's the court's understanding. I'm not a medical doctor, but I do know, based upon what you're telling me, based upon what's in the report, that if that's not taken care of, people have died when they have infections in the tooth. It goes to the brain, it goes throughout the body. And since he is leaving and returning the same day, and the report I've seen from the court is that there have been no issues with you while you've been on probation. So I'm going to allow you to travel to on Saturday, April 5th, to get the medical procedure done and come back. This is what you're going to need to provide to the court when you come back, or
Yes.
provide to probation.
Yes.
You're going to have to provide notes from the doctor that that's actually where you were.
Mhm.
And if they place you on medication, which they probably will, you need to provide those prescriptions to your probation officer. Do you understand?
Yeah.
Probation, is there anything else that needs to be added?
No, Judge. The year analysis.
All right, it'll be a UA upon return, but
Yes,
yes, but you'll need to make sure that you give them your medication so they'll know.
okay,
All right, is there anything else you need?
no,
All right, continue. You're welcome. Continue following all the rules and regulations, all right?
sure, I will.
All right, and good luck on the surgery.
Thank
you.
you very much, God bless.
You're welcome. Thank you. Frankie Lott. Hello.
He just needs a moment, Judge. Good morning.
Sure, no problem. All right, so where are we on this case? I know the last time there was an agreed order for him to travel. So the court has not received any negative reports from that time.
Very good. I think this is just our first indicted setting, Judge, so we've conferred this morning and
Okay, I don't have, they still have it listed on my form as not indicted. So you all have conferred?
Yes, Your Honor, it is relayed our recommendation to the defense.
And counsel, do you have all discovery?
I think so, Judge. There was some setbacks with Mr. Lott's health, so I just need to go through the discovery with him, and I'd like to just reset it to do that.
All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you all a plea deadline date, and I will give you a plea deadline date in May. What's a good date for you, counsel? I can do it the week of May 19th if you want, or I can do it early May.
The 16th, I'll be back on the 27th, Your Honor.
All right, counsel, do you want to put this on the 29th?
That'd be great, Judge.
All right, so his plea deadline will be May 29th. Once you sign the reset form, you are excused. Thank you for addressing appropriately for court.
Yes, you can have it after.
Already made
it. The reset. Go back to your sister. Thank you.